Good morning, students. I hope so you all are fine in your homes. So today we discuss about human respiratory system. That is our new chapter, human respiratory system. Okay, in this chapter we discuss about the process of respiration and the human respiratory organ which help in the process of respiration. So let's start with respiration. We all know that our body need energy to do the work, and that energy we taken from the food. Now how that food is converted into energy, that we discuss in the process of respiration. Okay, so what is respiration? The process of taking in oxygen by the cell. Okay, and oxidation of food means food is break down with this oxygen and release carbon dioxide and energy. That whole process we called respiration. So now we discuss that respiration process in stepwise. So first, respiration is a biochemical process. Okay, and it involves in first we intake of oxygen from the environment. Okay, firstly हम क्या करते हैं, ऑक्सीजन लेते हैं एनवायरनमेंट से. ओके, एंड सेकंड ब्रेक डाउन ऑफ फूड, that is the simplest form in the cell, that is glucose. That glucose is break down and release energy and carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide is eliminated from our body. So we respire to get energy. Now next we discuss the organ of respiratory system. Okay, basically we say that lung are the main respiratory organs, but that lung is connected with the external air through various organ. First is nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi. Now that bronchi is divided into many parts that we called bronchioles. Okay, that we discuss later on. And last one is lungs. So first we started with nose, means nasal cavity. Okay, we all know that we breathe air through nose or the nostrils. Okay, the nostril open into a nasal passage. From there we taken in of a nasal cavity. The main function of nasal cavity or nasal passage is air is filtered, warmed and moistened before entering into the lungs. Okay, if air is very warm, so our cells converted into according to our body temperature, means that warm air is converted into cold, and when it is very cold air, that is again converted into our body temperature. Okay, so this help these cell help the nasal passage to protect from harmful effects. Now next is pharynx. It is a common passage for food and air. Okay, the opening of trachea in pharynx is guarded by a muscular flap that is called epiglottis or uvula, which closes glottis while we swallow the food to avoid of food into the trachea. In pharynx, the two tubes we can say that are present. One is air pipe and one is food pipe. Food pipe we call esophagus and air pipe we called trachea. Okay, so opening of trachea we called glottis and opening of esophagus we called gullet. Okay, and there is a small flap which is present, that is called epiglottis, which close the glottis while we swallow the food. Okay, so they avoid the entry of food into the trachea. Next is larynx. Larynx is the upper part of the trachea. Okay, it is also called a voice box because it has a vocal cord which protect trachea and function in producing sound. We also called it as a Adam apple. Okay, it connect pharynx to the trachea, and it is surrounded by organ which contain vocal cords, okay, which produce sound by vibration in the vocal cord. Now next is trachea, or we also call it as a windpipe. Okay, the larynx direct the air into the trachea. Okay, it is a pipe-like organs, and their wall is composed of cartilage. So the air from nasal passage reach the lungs through trachea. Okay, and through trachea the air is entered into the lungs, and inside the lungs, these bronchi is divided and redivided into bronchioles. So let's we discuss about the bronchioles and alveoli. Okay. So these when trachea is divided into one is left part and one is right bronchi. Okay. Now these both are collectively enter into the both lungs. One is left lung and one is right lungs. Now this division of bronchi we called bronchioles. Okay. Now when trachea is divided into two parts, okay, one is left side and one is right side, that first branches we called primary branches or primary bronchi. Now the branches which arise from primary, that is called secondary, and the branches which arise from secondary, that we called tertiary. Okay, now and these structure form tree like appearance. Okay, so we discuss about the lungs. The lungs are paired of organ, one is left side and one is right side. Okay, the right side lung has 3 lobes, okay, and the left side lungs has 2 lobes. Okay, and the lungs is surrounded by a membrane that is called pleura membrane. Okay, and the lungs consist of a simpler unit or a smaller unit, that is a balloon like structure that we called alveoli. Okay, and that is present uh, in a groups. Okay, now when we talk about the location of the lungs, they are enclosed in a airtight thoracic cavity, okay, which is formed of our backbone, ribs and sternum. The sternum we called chest bone. Okay, and the floor is with the diaphragm which separate it from the abdominal cavity. So next is alveoli. Alveoli are small balloon-like structure which is present in the lungs in groups. Okay, and the main function of alveoli is they present a large surface area for exchange of gases. Okay, and the surface of that alveoli is covered with a fine network of blood capillaries. Okay, when we breathe air and the alveoli get filled with fresh air, then oxygen from the air enter the blood capillaries and carbon dioxide from the blood comes out in the air. Means that is the special part where the exchange of gases, main process, that is the exchange of gases that is occur in the alveoli. Okay, from alveoli the oxygen is enter into the blood, and from the blood the carbon dioxide which is carried by the blood from the different body cells, that is enter into the alveoli. Okay, from the alveoli the carbon dioxide again enter into lungs, from lungs to trachea, larynx, then nose, and then outside the body. So this is the organ of respiratory system in humans. So I hope you all understand the human respiratory system. Next we discuss about the process of respiration.